everyone, and welcome to Journey with the Kellers. My name is Amanda Keller, and today we are back in the Keller kitchen. So today we are going to be making something from the Peanut Holiday Cookbook. Today's recipe is going to be Monster Crispies. This is also going to be the 6th recipe of the 31 recipes for Halloween that we are going to be making, okay? So, or putting up, or whatever you want to say. Okay, so for this, it's kind of basically like a Rice Krispie treat. You're just going to do a little bit of additional stuff at the end. So what you will need though is a 8x8 pan with that you have greased, then put parchment paper on the bottom and then greased that parchment paper as well. I did just use spray grease for this, just so you guys know, or spray oil, however you want to say it. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, why would you preheat your oven? Okay, that's very strange. It has you to preheat your oven, but you don't really need to preheat your oven for this, so I don't know why it has that in there. Must be some kind of mistake. Okay, but anyways, what we're gonna start with first is in a large saucepan, you are gonna melt 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. And it says to do it over medium heat, which is what I've got it on, okay? We are going to go ahead and get that stirring. And now I am going to use a spatula for this. You guys can use whatever you feel comfortable with. And I also always like to have a pot holder handy because a lot of times you're going to have to hold the pot to mix stuff in. And then also some spray oil nice and handy as well, so that when things get sticky, which they will, that you are going to, let me get that out of the way, that you're going to have some spray oil there for it. Now it tells you to melt the butter all the way before you add in the marshmallows. I usually just melt the butter enough to coat the bottom of the pan, okay? And then just leave the rest in there while I add the marshmallows. So this is 1 pound of marshmallows. I had to weigh them because I had a huge bag, so I didn't know what 1 pound would be. And so we're just gonna dump 1 pound of marshmallows in there. You can find a 16-ounce bag. You can do that as well. That is basically a pound. Okay, so what you're going to do is just continue to stir these up until they're melted. It says it'll take about 2 minutes, but since mine are bigger, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than that. I would suggest constantly stirring, and once it starts getting super sticky, you may have to use some spray oil on your spatula to keep it from sticking, but you might be okay. Usually the stickier part is when you put the Rice Krispies in, okay? So I will be back as soon as these are melted, and we will go from there. So I'll be back, guys. So once you get your marshmallow all melted, which it's gonna look like this, nice and runny marshmallow, you're gonna go ahead and shut the heat off. Now this I have not done in Rice Krispie treats before, and that's at a half a teaspoon of vanilla, okay? And you're going to stir that up, and it is gonna sizzle because it's a different temperature. So you're gonna stir that in there and get that all mixed up. I've never added vanilla to my Rice Krispie treats before, so yeah, maybe it'll taste better, who knows? Although, I'm honest with you, Rice Krispie treats are pretty good, so they don't really need to taste better. Oh, and also do make sure that while your marshmallows are melting, that you continuously keep stirring them, otherwise they will burn, okay? So once you get your vanilla added in, you are gonna go ahead and add 6 cups of Rice Krispie treats, and you're gonna stir that up. Now see what I mean? This is all sticking. So this is when I'm gonna use just a little bit of spray oil on here to keep it from sticking. And we're gonna stir this up nice and good and get them all nice and full of marshmallow. Beware, it may be a messy job. And these are hot, so try to keep your fingers away. If you get that hot marshmallow on you, it will burn like crazy. I've done it, trust me. It's not fun. Okay, so once you get it all stirred up, you're gonna have a nice sticky mess like this. And what you're gonna do is you are gonna take this and put it into your 8-inch square pan. I don't have a very good grip on this handle here. There we go. that's better. Get it all scraped into there. Woo, that barely fits. Are they sure they want an 8-inch pan? That's gonna make some really thick Rice Krispies. They are supposed to be monster Crispies though, so maybe that's why. Usually though, for a whole batch of Rice Krispies, I would usually use a 9x13 pan, but that's okay. All right, so we're getting sticky again. As you can see, it's trying to stick really good, so we're just gonna spray it again with a little bit of spray oil. And what you're gonna do is just kind of smooth this out. Push it into the corners. Kind of try to smooth it out as much as you can, okay? That is making some thick Rice Krispie treats, you guys. Really thick ones. I'll show you here in just a minute. So smooth it all out. Would help if this pan wasn't in the way. There we go. Okay. So once you get it all smoothed out, then you're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes. So there they are, okay? So we're gonna let these sit for about 15 minutes and then I'll come back and show you what we're gonna do next, okay? So I'll be back in just a minute. I forgot to tell you, so make sure that while this is sitting, definitely get some water soaking into your pan that you just used. Be much easier if you get hot water soaking in there to clean it out. So just a little tip. Okay, you guys, so once the Crispies have sat in for about 15 minutes, or you can do this too while they're sitting, I'm gonna let them sit just a little bit longer, but you're gonna go ahead and cut them into rectangles. I think we could go ahead and cut them. So I'm just gonna cut mine into about maybe 9. Cut down twice this way. Mine might be a little more squarish than rectangles, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna cut twice this way. Okay, so now once you've got that done, you're also going to need for this part a baking sheet with a piece of parchment paper on it, okay? So I have 3 different colors of these candy melts. I have a red, a yellow, and an orange. I wanted a black, but they were out. So you can do whatever 3 colors you want. What you're gonna do is you're gonna add a teaspoon of canola oil to each one of these, and then you're gonna microwave them until they melt, okay? You should microwave them on 30-second bursts. So microwave for 30 seconds, one at a time. Microwave for 30 seconds, stir it, 30 seconds more, stir it, 30 seconds more, stir it, until you get them nice and melted. Just make sure you don't overdo it. If it's looking like maybe they're almost all the way melted, but there's still like little tiny lumps, like maybe only microwave it for 10 seconds the next time. And make sure you do stir them really good in between each 30-second interval, just because, you know, they'll be hot, it might melt it a little bit more, so they might already be done, they just need to be stirred, okay? So what you're gonna do once you get those done is, I think I'm gonna do mine one at a time. So you're gonna get them melted, and then you're gonna take one of your Rice Krispie treats. If you want, you can take them out of the pan and have them sitting on your pan over here if you want. But yeah, you're gonna take one Rice Krispie treat and dip it in one of the colors. And then while the color is still wet, you're going to either put 2 candy eyeballs on it, or you could use like a mini M&Ms and do those as well, and do little eyeballs, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get these melted up. I think, like I said, I think I'm gonna do them one at a time, and since I have 9 bars, I'll do 3 dipped in each color, and then I will come back and show you guys how they turned out. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, you guys, so look, they are all done and they're all staring at you right now. Oh my gosh. So I had really fun putting putting eyeballs on in different spots. Some of them have 3, some of them have 4, some of them have 1 down in the front, some of them have them on the sides. And so I just did all kinds of things with the eyeballs to make them look funny. Now I will say, it did tell us to use only a ½ a cup of candy melts in each bowl. And that wasn't really deep enough for me to actually dip them in. So I actually ended up spooning the candy melts, the melted candy melts over top of the Rice Krispie treats in order to make sure that they got a good covering and that I could place the eyeballs all over the place. So they came out really cute, you guys. I can't say that it really tastes any different. Well, let's get some with a little bit of chocolate on it here. Maybe a little bit of a vanilla-y taste coming from the Rice Krispies, but it really doesn't taste much different than what regular Rice Krispies with a little bit of candy chocolate, or candy melts I guess aren't chocolate. Maybe they are. I don't know. Anyways, but these are delicious. It's Rice Krispies. They're almost always delicious. And I love just putting the little eyeballs around. So your kids would love probably doing that too. And you could probably do other decorations on here too to make them look even funnier if you want. Okay, you guys, so that's it for this video. Oh, you can put these in an airtight container once they've set and set up. Says it'll take about 15 minutes, but I think it's probably going to take longer than that. I would suggest too, if you don't want huge Rice Krispies, one, or you can not cut them, but I would also maybe use a bigger pan to kind of thin them out a little bit more. Like I said, usually for a full recipe of Rice Krispies, I would use a 13x9 pan and make the thinner ones, but that's up to you whether or not you want to do that, okay? And if you're going to need a lot of Rice Krispies for like a Halloween party or something coming up, then you might definitely want to do the bigger pan so you can make more at one time. Okay, you guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you like, or don't if you don't. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy your cooking. Keep your kitchen messy, and we'll see you later. Bye.